thing that you need to say got it for that's being live streamed.
Okay,
So,
I'm sorry, because distraction. Got it? Okay, I did. I'm sorry.
sure. So all of these are recorded and kept on file at the city.
Okay.
We also stream these live on YouTube so that anyone from the public can observe.
Oh,
And Ms. Ramsey, I'm going to ask you, is the volume on your computer turned all the way up?
I don't know where the volume is.
Does your son know how to assist? Can your son help?
Do you know where a volume is on here?
Should be the bottom right.
I'm afraid to touch any button, we'll get disconnected.
Signal.
No, that's for, I know
Right here,
that.
let's see the speaker. See the little speaker. See the little arrows. Did that work?
Can you hear me any better?
A little bit. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So what I was saying was that these are recorded and kept on file at the city, and these are all streamed live to YouTube as well, so that anyone from the public can observe if they would like to. We need to maintain the public component of these hearings, and so that's how we do that when they're virtual.
Okay.
Okay, so the last thing I need to do is go through our hearing script. This basically covers the procedure of the hearing. And then we will jump right into the presentation from you on what this project is and why it's appropriate.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the October 6th, 2021 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the City of Cincinnati, and I will preside over this hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20210139. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the Zoning Hearing Examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If we did have anyone here from the public, which we do not, they would have an opportunity to speak after the applicant had presented its case. I will give our zoning plans examiner, Doug Owen, an opportunity to comment on the application. And then in the event that anyone testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, you'll have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or argument that's been offered in opposition. And then finally, you'll have an opportunity to make a closing statement. So for our purposes here today, Ms. Ramsey, I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell me about the project, why you think it's appropriate and why I should grant it. I'm going to give Doug an opportunity to tell me a little bit more about the project from the zoning department's perspective, and then I'll allow you to make any closing statements, and then we'll adjourn. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered, and I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with our video conferencing technology, as you've seen already, we'll try to troubleshoot those on the fly as best we can. But to the extent there's some defect with the tech that doesn't allow us to meaningfully go forward with the hearing, I may continue or postpone this hearing, and that'll be at my discretion. Okay, the last thing I need to do is to swear in all of our witnesses. And so if you intend on testifying here today, making any comments, asking any questions, doing anything other than just strictly observing, then you need to be sworn in. And so if you plan on testifying, if you could please raise your right hand. I need everyone to answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Thank you. Okay. Ms. Ramsey, what would you like to tell me about the project?
The project?
Yes, the application in front of us here today for the 2 variances.
I live on a really steep hill. In order you can get to like my front door, I go up like 26 steps. And the only place that was flat is in the front, like 12 or 16 feet of my yard. The rest is really on a really steep hill, which would be almost inaccessible. I don't even think you could get a piece of equipment up there. So that's why I chose the front yard.
Okay, what are you trying to do on the property?
Improve the property.
How?
I built an outdoor building to enhance the property, the way the property looks. I have, it's the only place to put a grill, to have a grill out for my family to come over and enjoy, my grandchildren. I try to maintain the yard and keep it nice and pretty. I didn't,
Okay, and so my understanding is that you would like to put 4 structures in the front yard?
2 or 3. Some of them structures, I would think a structure is like a building, but this is just like it has a roof and just poles, so it's all open. It's not like contained, like look like boxes in my front yard.
Can you tell me what exactly they are?
I call them shelters. It's a roof and it's got 4 poles. Everything's open in it. Like when it rains, and I have patio furniture under there. We sit and talk, and there's a table and chairs. It's so if it starts raining, you don't have to rush into the house. So we sit out there, and have family hour and stuff like that. There's no
Okay.
place in the back. There's no place in the back. It's heavily wooded and dense. It's steep.
Okay. Let's see. And are they all just like little shelter structures?
Yes, there's one which is like on the side, which is enclosed. Pretty much I use that for there. My son has like a weight room in there. He does riding one of those bicycles. And there's a weight bench in there. That one off to the side is enclosed. And it's like underneath the trees, close to the edge of the property. The other 3 are essentially in front. Like you can visibly see them from the street.
Okay. And are these already constructed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what I see in the report suggests that there may be a swimming pool.
Yes.
Okay, and that's part of what you're asking for today?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So we have 1 shelter structure, we have 1 swimming pool, and then there are 2 more structures. You said an exercise room?
Yes, on the side is an exercise room. It's real close to my house. And the other 3 are definitely in the front yard and with the pool. The pool's like right here, and then one of the structures is there for my granddaughter, how they wear those robes and then they take them off. So that structure was for so people driving by couldn't see them, getting in and out of the pool.
Okay. Let's see. Are any of them directly in front of the house, or are they off to the side of the house?
They're directly in. 2 of them are directly in front of the house. There's a little baby one, which it's called a hillbilly like eater. Where well, it's small. It's the same structure, but it's a lot smaller, and it's kind of a little bit back off to the side, but you can definitely see it from the front. Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything else like this in your neighborhood or on your street?
I don't have any, next to me is probably woods or probably, you know how houses are like, like 1, 2, 3? My next neighbor is probably 10 houses down, but with no houses. I don't know the length of it, I'm sorry. That's on the side that I live, on this side. And then this side, they don't have any structure. It's rental property, and they come and go. Couple of houses on down have like garages in front. Right across from me on down, which would be if you're head, I guess, south. On this side, they have front garages. Across from me, sir, there's railroad ties. There's no houses across from me. It would basically be another whole street's backyard, but so heavily wooded. I don't see any houses except for the one right next to me. I think it's like some kind of preserve next to me on this side. Like I said, all I see is, if you go all the way down Hillside, I've seen privacy fences in the front yard, but you know, that's far down from me. I don't have any neighbors is basically what I'm trying to tell you to compare to.
Okay.
And I don't snitch on anybody if they have it in their front yard.
Yeah. So there's not, I mean, I'm looking at the street view map here. It looks like if you're looking at your house directly to the right, there's a white house. Is that still there?
The White House would be, is it like directly next to me, like real close? That is rental property. I told you, she bought it and rents it out. They move like every couple of years.
Okay, got it. All right, anything else you'd like to tell me about the application?
Feasibly in money-wise, that was the only place feasible for me to be able to enjoy the structures with my family without it becoming a hardship. I mean, it would be major escalation, you know, to try to, I don't even think a piece of equipment could get up there because of all the trees. And I couldn't afford that anyway.
Okay. All right, let's give Doug an opportunity to add any testimony if you would like. Doug, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, just reiterate a couple things from the staff report here and agree with Ms. Ramsey that basically the steepness of her lot prevents her from having any usable space in either the side or the rear yard. So any kind of accessory structures are required by the zoning code to be placed in the rear yard of a property, and that is simply not possible on this lot. And I think I included a topo shot in the staff report, but I'm going to share my screen here real quick. Can you see that?
It's
No, I can't see
still
anything.
uploading. There we go.
Okay. So you can see on the topo map, she has a very deep lot, but none of that space is really usable to the rear or the side of the house. So you can see down towards the front is really where it starts to level out. So that is the only place that these accessory structures were really able to be located. This is a photo from 2011, before anything was built here. So even in the side and directly in front of the house, you can see how the topography impacts any kind of development on the rear or the side of the house. So the only other thing I'd mention is while there are not a lot of houses on this north side of the street, the ones that are here, most of them do have accessory structures placed in the front yard for the same reason that, you know, it's not usable space in the rear. And I'd also point out that across Hillside Avenue. These are double frontage lots, so they technically do not have any rear yard. It is all it's front yard on the front as well as the back, since it has street frontage on both sides. So technically, these properties also have accessory structures in the front yard along that same frontage on Hillside Avenue. So because of these factors, staff feels that it is appropriate to have accessory structures in the front yard. It's not something we would typically recommend, but because of the topography of the lot creating a hardship and the substantial property rights of other owners in the area having pools and accessory garages on the same street, that we felt it was appropriate to make a recommendation of approval.
What was the point you were making, Doug, about the double street frontage? And then are you saying that there's for double front yard that there's accessory structures somewhere else? Or were you talking about along Hillside?
So both along Hillside and to the south along Pattison Avenue on this strip here, and then also on the main lots with River Road. These are all double frontage lots. So according to the zoning code, a through lot or a double frontage lot, it does not have a rear yard. It has a front yard on both sides where it connects to the street. So technically speaking, you know, like just down the street here on this lot between Pattison and Hillside, this is a front yard in front of the house here along Pattison, but this is also a front yard along Hillside. So these properties technically do have accessory pools and other structures in the front yard along that same street frontage.
Got it. Okay. Anything else, Doug?
Nope. That is all I got.
Okay. Ms. Ramsey, anything else you'd like to say in closing or otherwise before we adjourn here today?
No, sir.
Okay. So as I said at the beginning of the hearing, decisions can be expected within 2 weeks. If you would like an update on that, feel free to reach out to myself or to Doug Owen, and we can give you an update on the status of the decision. Or if you have any questions in the meantime, we can also answer those as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions right now?
No, sir.
Okay. Great. We'll leave it at that then. Thank you both for your time and your testimony.